You don't think it autofocuses and shifts? Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 minutes of live side twist stretching. We do this every single morning to practice consistency, to build community, and to make the suffering we're about to do a little bit more fun, a little bit more worthwhile, and a little less tiring. Okay, I think it's time to begin because we are 2 minutes into the hour. All right, let's do this. We are starting with hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your leg through that full range of motion available to you at the hip using your own muscle power. So we build some strength and we build mobility at the same time. And then we also figure out how weak our legs are and how small these little itty bitty muscles pulling our legs up into the air are. And that's always a shocking way to start your Sunday morning. Let's go. High knee. Lift the knee as high as you can. You should be able to pull it even higher up with your hands, but we're using our own muscle power to lift that leg, right? So it should be a little bit lower than that. Open up that leg to the side. Oh, out that way. Keep this hip in basically the same spot for as long as you can, right? All of the movement is coming from the leg where it interacts with the hip, not from the whole entire hip. We're not trying to rotate and do spinny crazy moves that could be really painful for your knees also. All right? From here, once you got in here, we are going to rotate that ankle up. Ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up, ankle up. Ooh, here we are. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Whee, boom, ankle up. We got to horizontal. This muscle is probably going a little crazy right now. And from here, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep lifting, 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 lifting. At this point, the hip is going to twist a little bit, and that's okay. Just want you to focus on rotating and bring that ankle as high as you can. From there, we're going to bring the leg down and back. So directly behind you, like you're going whoosh, kicking somebody behind you, and we're flexing the hamstring, we're flexing the glutes, we're feeling the stretch right here in the front, in the hip flexor. That is one hip cut. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'll do a couple facing you, I'll do a couple not facing you, so it's easier for you to figure out what's going on, all right? I'm going to call out every move. You don't have to worry about memorizing anything. If this is your first time on the live, let's begin. Stand up straight. Take a nice big breath. Sigh out all the extra tension and get your core nice and tight. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up to horizontal. Ankle up some more. Lift, 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 lift. Bring that leg down and back. That's one rep. Feel the stretch right here. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight, nine, maybe. I don't know how to count. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That is our hip guys. If at any point you're like, this is crazy, there's no way I can balance this, feel free to put your hand out, hold on to something. Usually I do these standing against the wall so I can put my hand up and lean into it. But I watched a video of somebody doing my live and I saw that their ankles weren't going to the places I want them to go. So I decided I would spend more time facing you guys so you can mirror me and you can copy me. Alright? Other side. What did we just do? This leg was standing, this leg was rotating. Other side. All your weight is on one leg. And, I'm immediately off balance. Of course I am. Get that core nice and tight. And let's begin. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. I'm going to use the wall now. High knee. Open. Ankle up. down and back, that's 5 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 6 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 7 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 8 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 9 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 10. That's a hip curls. Going forward. Take a second, shake out your legs. If your hamstrings are feeling a little crampy, if your hips are feeling a little tight, do a little dance, do a little shake, move, and get ready to go in reverse. What we just did was forward. Now we gotta go reverse. All the movements are basically the same, but there's one key difference I want to highlight. When we start in reverse, the first thing we do is bring this leg down and back. Sometimes we get a little bit excited and we start really trying to kick that leg back as far as we can, going as high as we can because we have so much energy for that first rep. That is very likely to put a whole bunch of pressure on your low back. All right, when you do this right here, see that arch? We don't want that because that is not the shape your back should be in. We don't want to be twerking. All right, so the way you protect your back is just by keeping your core tight. If you want, you can almost crunch yourself into a really tight ab position like you're bracing for a punch, and that'll help you, if you're a beginner especially, stay in control as you get stronger, as you get more comfortable with not having your back do this the whole entire time. You don't have to crunch so hard. All right, let's go. We're standing up straight, holding on to something for balance, keeping the core nice and tight, and we're gonna bring that leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Again, doesn't have to go that far, just as far as you're able to do it while feeling the stretch right here and not here. All right, lift that leg to the side, rotate the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, and bring the knee forward. That's one rep. I'm gonna do a couple facing this way and then I'll come face the camera. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, three. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's eight. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. All right, we're 75% of the way through our hip thrust. We got one last leg, one last hip to do. Again, do a little dance, shake out your hips, loosen up, and let's get ready to go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong so you don't start twerking when you're doing the leg movement. Right? I forgot why we were doing the twerking side. I was like, why are we doing this? Okay. Oh no. Hello, dog. Good morning. I got my live today. Have we trained you well enough to recognize the signs of the live that I don't pay attention to you, that you'll leave? Oh, snap. Is it working? It's working. Oh, cool. Okay. He likes to be in the room, and especially in the morning, he's very excited. And so I've been trying very hard on the live to be very calm, loud, and ignore him, and see if he'll just relax on his bed by himself. And it seems like it's kind of working. So we'll see how it goes. Let's continue. Where are we? What are we doing? Hip cards. We got one last hip. One last hip. Oh, is he leaving? He says goodbye. Here, go ahead. Goodbye. Nope, nope, nope. We're not playing. Oh man, I've ruined the training. Okay, moving on. Let's go. We're doing. Bring that leg back. Lifting to the side. Rotating the ankle up. Rotating the ankle down, and knee forward. We're gonna try and keep the hips in the same spot the whole time. So we try not to move too much outside of the leg, and back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 7, oh, I'm off balance, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 8, 2 more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 9, last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Oh, that is our hip cards. What we've just done is the first of our 3 warm-up exercises. And if your hips are tired, and if that was exhausting and you're starting to break a sweat, good. That is what we want. Do a little dance, shake out those hips, and we're going to move on into our second move. It is called the elephant walk. If you're just joining in for the first time, by the way, because there's 284 of you on live right now, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. It is currently not 9 p.m. Eastern, so that's because we have a 9 a.m. Eastern show on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday mornings. That's what you're at right now. But outside of this, we are live every day, Monday through Sunday at 9 p.m. And the dog is licking his butthole. Oh, man, great. Okay, let's continue. We're going to move on into our second warm-up exercise. It's a sock. It's a sock for you. Go. All right. What we're doing? Second warm-up exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to fold at the hips and bring the belly button down to the ground. All right. It's going to look like this. Whee! From here, if you got a tight low back, you're going to be feeling it right now. Take a couple seconds. Relax. Breathe. And chill. After a little bit, you should be feeling it more in your hamstrings than in your low back, because your low back is finally chilled out. And that is when we're ready to add a little bit of movement. I want you to bend one knee. I want you to straighten the other leg. I want you to fold your belly button down. Then I want you to switch from side to side. Other leg is straight, other leg is bent, other leg is straight, other leg is bent, other leg is straight, other leg is bent, and keep going. You should be feeling this in your hamstrings. And each hamstring should feel slightly different at any given moment because the stretch is a little bit different. And you might also feel a little tingliness over here, a little tension where your butt is. That's because your hamstrings turn into tendons, and your tendons connect into the bottom of your pelvis. And this right here, when you're folded forward, is the bottom of your pelvis. Keep on switching back and forth. Fold that belly button down, especially if sometimes you feel like, oh, hey, this isn't so bad. That's a sign you gotta go a little harder. Let's go. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on up out of that stretch. You might want to pop into a little bit of a squat before you come back into standing. Sometimes when you're folded forward for a while, your back muscles take a little bit of a nap, and we want to wake them up before we jump back into standing and do a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna take a quick sip of coffee. I got a compliment. No, wait, is it a compliment? Oh, that helps when you twerk. Maybe I'll be able to do it eventually. Does that actually help you twerk? I have no idea. Uh, but that was the elephant walk. We're gonna move on into second part of that exercise, and technically it should just be a third move all by itself. But I started adding this in when I only had 3 moves, and I didn't want to change the name of my show from 8 exercises to 9 exercises. So now it's just 3 part 2. Okay. What we're doing is we're getting right back into that bent knee position, straight leg position, and we're folding our belly button down into the ground, and you get a nice good old whiff of dog. From here, we are in the same position we were at before, kind of, with one leg out extended. But now what we're going to focus on is rotating the spine. Okay? What I want you to do is take the bent arm from the bent leg side, reach across to your straight leg, push against that shin bone, and use that bone to help open up your spine. Do a nice rotation. I want you to reach your other hand up into the air. I want you to rotate your neck to look at that hand, and I want you to reach. Give me a second. I think the dog wants to leave. Here we go. Bye bye. All right. Cool. Cool. I think he's way more tired in the evenings because we walk him. And so he's very quiet in his corner the last couple of days. But it's morning now, so not quite the same. From here, we're rotating, looking at that hand. Look. Breathe. Exhale a whole bunch of air and see if you can rotate a little bit further. That is some gentle thoracic rotation. If your spine hurts, if you have injuries, if you got something crazy going on that I couldn't possibly know, because I'm just a dude in my bedroom, take it easy, take it chill. If you are otherwise feeling okay, and this just feels really intense because you've never rotated before, that's probably okay. All right, let's go. Other side. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side, putting across the body, and we're pushing against that shin bone to help us rotate and open up our chest. Our arm is extended up into the air, our neck is rotated to look at that hand, and when we exhale on the next breath, I want you to reach a little further. And oh, that is some thoracic rotation. We're doing 5 reps in total. I'll count that as number one. So we got 4 more to go. All right, let's do this. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. Arm from the bent side to the straight leg. Use that to push, open, stretch. Breathe. And that is 2. Other side. That is 2 finished. We have 3 more. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. Arm from the bent leg side reaches across to the straight leg. We're pushing against that leg to help open up our chest. And we're reaching that arm behind us. Reach. Breathe. On the exhale, see if we can push a little further. Oh, that is the first of our 3 reps. Other leg is bent, other leg is straight. Reaching across, opening up the spine. That, I think, is the start of number 4. Right? Yeah, that's 4. Let's keep going. Open. Because we're only doing 5 reps, it should be possible for most of us to get a little tiny bit deeper each time and end that last one in a good place. What do we just do? We just the right arm. Other side. Open. Breathe. Last one. I've completely lost count of how many we've done. I think that's about 5 on each side. Might be short one, but that's okay. Hopefully, your back is feeling a little bit looser. You don't have to go doing some crazy swinging, twisting, rotation-y stuff right now just to prove whether or not you're actually rotating a little bit smoother. You can do some little movements. Move those hips, do a little dance, and if things are moving a little smoother, we're in a good spot. All right, we're gonna move on. What are we gonna move on to? I think we're gonna move on to our 4th and final warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch. You don't have to do this right now. I'm gonna demonstrate real quick, talk about some things, and then we're gonna warm up our warm-up. All right, let's go. We're gonna start with our legs decently wide. We're gonna drop down into a deep squat on one leg with the other leg sort of just supporting off to the side. It's also kind of in like a side split position, which is awesome because this is a side splits live. From here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. We're going to sit deep into that stretch and we're going to chill here for a second. Then we're going to come back. That is a Cossack switch. It's going to be real tough on your ankles, your knees, your hips to pull that off right out of the blue, especially first thing in the morning. So we're going to pre-stretch some of those joints and some of those muscles. All right. What I want you to do is get into a deep squat. Ugh. And if you're leaning forward, pushing your knees out, your heels are off the ground, that is absolutely fine. What I want you to focus on is actually bringing your chest and your knees together and leaning forward so that your heels are off the ground. The reason for that is because we want to stretch in that Achilles tendon. We want to stretch in the calves. We want to feel that compression in the ankle so that your toes are coming sort of towards your knees. And I'm just going to chill here. Breathe, relax. And once you're comfortable, once you figured out how to balance, you can add a little tiny bit of movement. All right. I want you to just shift your knees forward and back. I want you to try to open up the hip a little tiny bit just to see if you can get a little bit of movement while in this situation. And as you get more comfortable, you can turn it more dancey. Just slide to the left, slide to the right. I don't know how the rest of that song goes because my brain is farting, but we can pretty much wrap this up in another second or two. When you're ready, take a breath, sink a little bit deeper into that squat. Pull your knees in, get a little bit smaller, get a little bit more compact. Keep on trying to keep that back straight for the moment. And we're ready to do some Cossack switches. All right. Over here. Stick your hands straight down into the ground. And extend the other leg up. Not up, out. From here, we're in our starting position on this leg. Let's get the other leg prepped. We're trying to bring this heel down, and that helps us keep stable. All right, when your foot is completely down, completely flat on the ground, you got three main points: behind the big toe, behind the pinky toe, and at the heel that form a little bit of a tripod. We want all three legs of the tripod down to help us stay stable because there's a lot of movement coming up. All right, so once your heel is down, I want you to get as low as you can into that squat. If you're stuck a little bit higher up, that's absolutely fine. It's completely normal and part of the process. If you can get a little bit deeper, great. Either way, we're ready to move our butts over that way. You can put your hands down on the ground and scoot it that way. Or you can not do that if you're a little bit higher up and it's a little bit easier for you. Whatever the case, let's go. Put your hands down, come across, and try to get into a deep position on the other side. Breathe. Try to squish and get compact. And then come on back. Squish, get deep, and keep going. That's one rep. We're starting number two. We're coming back out of number two. If you realize, hey, I think I'm strong enough to not use my hands, great. That's awesome. You can not use your hands. Here we have number three. If that is also feeling easy for you, you're looking for more of a challenge, feel free to stand up a little bit straighter. Instead of leaning so far forward, you can stick your hands out in front of you to help counterbalance. Now your low back is going to kick in and work really hard too. Okay? Keep going. I think this is five. And six. From here, if you're starting to feel a little achiness in the inside of that knee, a little bit of tension here because your body isn't quite used to this movement from side to side just yet, you can start coming up, coming across, sitting down on the other side. It changes the movement a little bit so the inside of your knees get a little bit less pressure, and that gives you a little bit of relief so you can keep going. Keep on squishing, getting compact, getting low. And across and down. I think it's nine. Last one. Try your best. Do whatever the hardest variation that you think you can do perfectly is, and we're gonna finish up. 10 reps are done. That is our Cossack switch. I hope you enjoyed. And if your lungs are on fire and your legs are on fire, that's intentional. This is the warm up. We're trying to get our bodies prepared. If that sentence that is a warm up is scaring you, don't worry. This is a stretching show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes, probably more like 60 minutes of live Side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make this suffering that we're doing a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. So if you like that, if you need help practicing consistency, if you want to do better movement towards the floor and on the floor, you're in the right place. We're live every day at 9 p.m. It's currently not 9 p.m. It's currently 9 a.m. because on the weekends we do a special live to start the morning instead of to end the morning or to end the day. Anyways, that's the spiel. Hit follow, hit subscribe, come back. We're gonna jump into our stretches. We're doing 5 stretches, and they're not weird 5 stretches where there's an extra one in there. That's really 6 stretches. It's just actually 5. From here, the first thing we're gonna do is a hamstring stretch. So what I want you to do is go grab a little bit of a cushion for your knee. All right. That's because the way we set up this hamstring stretch is with one leg down, one leg extended, and our belly button folded down into the ground. If you like, and I recommend that you do, you should grab something to pad that knee, get a little bit of padding, get a little bit of support. It could be a couch cushion. It could be a decorative pillow. It could be a dirty towel that you just roll up, stick under your knee. Nobody else will know, and we're ready to go. Take a second, go do that. I'm gonna go grab my own. I have a gym mat, some foam, and once you're back, we're ready to go. We're gonna drop both knees down onto the ground real quick, and I want you to look down at your hips when you're standing up nice and straight. We want your hips to be very neutral right now, and we want you to remain very neutral for the duration of the stretch. What that looks like is your hips should be directly underneath you. All right? Shouldn't be twisted. You shouldn't be twisted. Should be straight. Cool? From here, we're going to extend one leg out in front of us. If you're immediately off balance, you're like, whoa, you can widen that leg stance out just a little bit so you're feeling a little bit more stable. All right? From here, we're ready to fold. Focus on bringing that belly button down to the thigh. Breathe. And come down. Doesn't matter how deep you get, as long as you're focusing on bringing the belly button down towards that leg, we are good. Oh, once you feel that muscle tightening up, I want you to try your best to breathe. Nice, slow, big breath, and sigh, relax, exhale, and be as loud as you need to in order to really exhale and relax those muscles. All right? The exhale is really good at helping you relax. So exhale loud, obnoxiously, and relax as much as you can. All right. At some point, you'll probably learn how to exhale without being loud and obnoxious. But for now, just be obnoxious, and it's fine. It's all good because we're doing stretches. Okay, let's go. From here, once you've taken a bunch of breaths, you're a little bit more comfortable because your hamstrings have actually chilled out. We're going to make everything worse. We're going to suffer some more. All right, let's go. We're going to do an inhale, exhale, and fold. What I want you to do on the inhale is I want you to take a really big breath in. Then I want you to start exhaling nice and slow. As you exhale, I want you to bring the belly button down to that thigh. I want you to compress into a little folded pancakey looking thing. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Ah, now that you're in a deeper hamstring stretch and life is so full of suffering, uh, take some more breaths. That inhale, exhaling we were doing before, where we're just going exhaling a whole bunch of air out of our lungs, trying our best to relax. Do that. Be careful. Don't start hyperventilating and getting lightheaded because you've taken in too much air. That that's too much. So keep it controlled, but exhale a lot. From here, if you're feeling a little bit of achiness in the knee, your knee is feeling not so great, you can give it a slight bend, just a little bit. That should take a whole bunch of pressure off the knee joint, and it should reduce the intensity of that hamstring stretch at the same time. To get that intensity back while protecting the knee, you can just focus on folding forward a little bit more. Cool? Once your chest is all the way down touching that knee, then you can start straightening out the leg. That way, the knee hurting part comes at the end instead of the whole entire time. All right. This is only for people who have achy knees. We hung out here for a little bit. Hope you've had lots of breath. We're going to do inhale, exhale, fold one last time. All right. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Bring that belly button down, 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 down. Straighten out that leg if you can. And if you can't, that's totally fine. Fold forward 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. If you are feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your upper back, your neck, your mid back, even because you're trying to turn yourself into a ball, you're trying to smash your face into your knee, too hard. This stretch in the hamstring comes from where your belly button is, where your hips are at. And so the hips are the only thing you have to focus on. Everything else is just extra unnecessary stuff. All right. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. We're done. Bring that knee in. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Well, that's half our hamstring stretch. We still gotta do the other leg. Whew. Other side. Keep the hips neutral. You can remind yourself what that looks like by bringing your knees together, or you can, just try to imagine you're standing up straight and extend the other leg in front. We're ready to fold. Bring that belly button down. Ugh. When your hamstring stretch starts making itself known and you're feeling it, it's time to breathe. Just chill. Drape your body over that leg. Relax the calves, relax the toes, relax the glutes, relax the low back. Chill. One more breath. And we're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. All right. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down, 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 down. From here, keep on breathing. Keep on trying to relax. Toes, feet, hamstrings, calves. Chill out everything. And once you've hung out here for a little bit, your hamstrings are feeling a little bit better, not completely stressed out, just kind of stressed out. We're going to inhale, exhale, fold one last time. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. All right, that's it. We're hanging out here for a little bit, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Again, if you have slight discomfort in the knee, you can give it a very slight bend. Focus on bringing the belly button down as low as you can, and you can straighten out the leg later. Cool? 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. That's our hamstring stretch. Come on out of it. Whew. Relax for a second, breathe, and we're going to move on into our second stretch. All right. The second stretch is a butterfly stretch. And you can do that with your butt up against the wall. I'm going to do this on the cushion because my floor is a little bit slippery. On the cushion is a little grippier. And we need a little bit of friction to keep our feet, keep our legs in front of us in this butterfly position. But if you don't know what that is, don't worry about that just yet. Just sit, bring your butt up against the wall. Relax, lean back. Have your mid back, your shoulders, your head rest against that wall. And we're ready to begin. Next, we're going to bring our feet together like this. You can pull up your pants if you're wearing pants so that your knees don't get bowed out in the fabric. And when your feet are together, I want you to pull the feet in towards your groin. You should notice that your knees pop up and you're kind of in this position. All right. The point of the butterfly stretch is actually to stretch out the groin muscles right here in the center of your legs. The way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. What I want you to do is use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to help pull your legs open. From here, we're going until our legs open up a little bit wider. If this is your first time on the live, second time on the live, and you're like, what muscles are those? What is he talking about? You're trying to flex your glutes. You gotta be able to flex your glutes. Those are big, powerful muscles. The other ones in your outer thighs, maybe not so much. But as long as you notice your knees going down just a little bit, you feel a bit of a stretch here in your inner thighs, in your groin area, just a little bit, you're doing the right thing. All right. You might not be that strong. You might not have figured out how to use those muscles just yet. And that is fine. That's part of the show. The more you use them, the more you mess around, the more you'll figure out. Cool? So don't worry about all that stuff. We're going to continue. We're going to take our hands, we're going to stick them straight into the ground. And by ground, I mean into our thighs to push them into the ground. And we're going to start. Let's go. Push. Push, 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 push. Breathe. Relax. Relax. If you were flexing your glutes earlier, you can just relax them now. Relax. And you should notice what feels different when you do that. When you're doing this, you might feel a whole bunch of pressure on the back of your head and in your shoulders. Right? That's because your arms are pushing your legs down, but your shoulders, where your arms are attached to, are also pushing your head into the wall. And that's what the wall is for, is to keep you from falling backwards. Keep breathing. And we're ready to continue. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on trying to relax those hips. See if you can push your knees down deeper into the ground. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Now that you have experienced what maybe those muscles are supposed to be feeling, try to contract those glutes again, contract those outer thigh muscles, see if you can pull your knees down a little bit deeper into the stretch. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. If you're still flexing those muscles, relax them now for the last couple of seconds. See if you can push your arms just a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our stretch. You can let your hands go now. Whew. If you're feeling it in your hips, that's okay. That's normal. From here, just sigh. Relax for a second. Shake out your hands. Your wrists were probably suffering quite a bit from pushing your legs down. If your wrists are tired, you can give them a little T-Rex handshake over here. Loosen them up. And I want you to flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. If you're struggling to get your legs working, to bring them up, you can start by giving them a nice shake and go, hey, 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 wake up. We got stuff to do. You can't be sleeping around like this. It's mid-morning already, all right? You gotta wake up. And hopefully your legs will wake up. They'll be flapping, and then we'll be ready to continue. It's time to move on to our third stretch, the standing pancake. It is quite possibly the hardest stretch in our entire show. So I hope you get emotionally ready over the next like 5 seconds because we're about to begin. Whew, we can get rid of the cushion. I'm going to get rid of some other random things that I might knock over. I don't know why this is making the letter T, but we're ready to begin. I want you to open up your legs nice and wide for just a second. If you're feeling pain here in the hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs in just a little bit. Next, we're ready to fold. Focus on that belly button. And fold, 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 fold some more, fold. Whew. Bring that belly button down into the ground. That's our starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Fold. Ho, ho, ho. The goal of the pancake is actually to bring your upper body in between your legs. It's a crazy stretch. Can I demonstrate anything? No, that's about it. What we want to do is do that. All right. And because it's such a hard, crazy stretch, we want gravity to help as much as possible. In this case, if your upper body is horizontal, that is when you'll feel gravity the most. If you inhale and then exhale, and let your body drape forward, you'll feel more of a stretch here in your hip, in your glutes, where you're folded at. All right. If you extend your arms out and get longer and get taller, you have your biceps by your ears. That will make everything just a little bit harder. And if you're a real masochist, you can hold something in your hands and you can drape yourself just a little bit deeper into the stretch. If you get to the point where your face is super close to the floor, it's making you quite uncomfortable, I recommend you stick your butt back. All right? Instead of having the leg come straight up, have it go slightly back. And because you aren't super crazy flexible, the rest of your body is also going to start feeling like it's coming up a little bit. It's not actually that it's coming up, it's that your hips are going backwards and your body is going with it. Okay? But we get into an even closer to horizontal position. You get to do all the things again and see if you can get a little bit deeper. All right? That is our stretch. Let's go. We're doing 30 seconds. If you want, you can try to widen your stance a little bit more and push that leg out, get into a deeper side split looking thing, and bring that belly button down. Bring that belly button down some more. Bring the belly button down some more. Bring the belly button down some more. Bring the belly button down some more. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. And we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you are not super deep in the stretch, that's absolutely okay. 24. Do what you can with what you got. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Put your hands down. Oh, oh. You could have put your hands down at any time if you felt like it was too much. I probably should have said that earlier, but now we're done. If you're feeling stuck right now, that is okay and that is very normal. You can try to wiggle your toes in towards each other, wiggle your heels in towards each other, toes and heels and toes and heels. Take as much time as you need. 50 reps of this later, you might be back in standing, so just take your time. Whew. When your feet are finally underneath you and you're ready to start moving and try to get out of this stretch, and you're like, wow, my legs are still feeling crazy right now, I want you to try and pop back into a little bit of a squat. Oh, and then come back into standing. Ah, whew. The pancake, like I said earlier, is quite possibly the hardest stretch in our whole entire show. And that's because it combines two really intense, hard stretches. One is the hamstring stretch, right? The hamstring, like I said earlier, attaches behind your knee into the bottom of your hip. So anytime your butt is going, the bottom of your butt is going up, you're stretching the pelvis. Doesn't matter if your legs are together, if your legs are apart, they are feeling a really intense stretch. And the pancake is all about folding forward, right? So intense stretch. The other place you might be feeling it is in your inner thighs. That is because the adductor muscles, the adductors are spelled ADDUCTR. Their job is to contract and bring your leg in to the center of your body, or a little bit past center. What we did was stretch them out by doing the exact opposite, widening the stance, and then we made everything worse by forcing those muscles to contract so that it can hold our body up in this position. That is the suffering you're experiencing. However, there's a pro to all of these cons, and that pro is you're getting stronger. All right. When you spend time hanging out in this position, the muscles that are contracting get better at contracting. You get stronger. And we need that strength in order to teach our brains that we want to be in this position. We can control this position, and we should allow our bodies to get into this position more. That is what stretching is teaching our brains to chill the heck out and let us do some crazy stuff. All right, that is our third stretch. Hopefully, after all that rambling, you have relaxed a little bit, you've moved a little bit, and you're feeling a little bit better. So we can move on into stretch number four. Stretch number four is either the pigeon or the figure four stretch. You got the option to do whichever one you prefer. If you're regular on the show and you know exactly what you're doing, go ahead and get started. Otherwise, I demonstrate and I teach one move per day. Yesterday we did the figure four, so today we're going to do the pigeon. But in general, both of them have the same fundamentals. We're taking one leg, we're bringing it across the body, we're resting it just above your knee. We're bringing the leg up into the air, we're bringing the belly button down to the leg. And from this position, you should be feeling a stretch here in the side of your hip. You might also feel something in your hamstrings and the outside of your thigh. And you might also feel a little bit of pressure when you're folding at that hip. Okay? That is the basics. Let's get into the pigeon. Come on down onto the floor. Oh, grunt, groan, make as many sounds as you need to. There's no shame in expressing that this is tough. From here, our leg is running across our body, right? This other leg, it can do whatever it wants. We can get all the stretch that we need with this leg just chilling off to the side, all right? We're going to fold the middle line. So forehead, nose, mouth, middle of our chest, I don't know, belly button. We're going to try and bring that line down to the center of this leg in front, between the knee and the ankle, all right? It's going to look like this. Wee! Breathe. And whew, here we are. That is our pigeon. That's it. That's the whole thing. You're just folding forward, chilling in that stretch. You might have seen other pigeons where the leg over here is not just chilling off to the side, it's sticking right back behind us. You can absolutely add that in. All right. If that is what you want, and you're having a little bit of a difficult time trying to get this leg back, we got a couple of options for you. The first one is to recognize that the reason why you're struggling to bring this hip back is because your upper body is really high up right now. If you fold forward and you get closer to a position where you're just laying down with the leg, one leg doing something weird, this hip will chill out and you'll be able to hang out a little bit more easily. If that's not enough, because you're tight in the front leg as well, we got other options. You can elevate this front leg, and when you elevate the front leg, unless you have demonic flexibility, your hips are going to come up way high into the air because you just elevated your legs. And that means this back leg has a whole bunch more space behind you to get underneath you and chill out. Cool? So those are your options. Lay down, lift your front leg. Let's get into our pigeon stretch. Again, we're bringing the leg across the body. We're trying to keep the hips low, and we're trying to fold forward, getting that middle line between our knee and our ankle. All right, let's go. We are folding, 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 folding. Try to keep the hips low, bring the belly button down afterwards, and breathe. If you want to stick that leg behind you, we're doing 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Keep breathing. On the exhale, see if you can compress yourself a little deeper into the floor. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If it feels too easy, push your foot towards your face. It will make everything way harder. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our pigeon on one side. Whew. We're going to do the other side now. Bring the other leg over. Across the body. Midpoint, midpoint. And we're going to turn it around. Let's go. Get in that position so the other leg is going back behind you. Sit into that hip. Bring the chest down. Breathe. Breathe some more. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. Take some nice and slow breaths, nice and controlled. And on the exhale, see if you can relax some more tension. Stick your belly button deeper into the ground. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. We are done with our pigeons. Whew. If somehow you've joined us in probably in the last like 25 minutes, and you're like, I have no idea what we're doing, but we're stretching. This is cool. I want you to know that we're doing 45 to 60 minutes, probably closer to 60 minutes at this point, of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. And we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're doing, that we're about to do, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you like the idea of moving better on the ground, keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. and on the weekends, 9 a.m. And you should hit follow. You should hit subscribe because this sounds cool to you, right? You're still here. Cool. All right. Awesome. We're going to get into our fifth and final stretch, the side splits. Don't worry if you've never done any before. We are going to break it down into little pieces and make it real easy for you to get to wherever it is that you can get to. All right. The first thing we're going to do is actually talk about safety. What I want you to do is sit with your butt against the wall. And by sit, I mean stand. We're going to take one step in front of that wall. Should be about 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. The shorter you are, the closer you can probably be to the wall. And we're going to, oh, my foot was a little sticky. Almost broke my ankle just now. From here, we're going to get into this wide leg position. All right. And I want you to lean back and put your butt on the wall. This is what I want to happen when you start falling backwards and you lose a little bit of balance. You're like, fall backwards, lose balance. What the heck? This show isn't safe at all. What are you talking about, safety? When we're doing the side splits, at some point, we'll be in a situation where our legs are wide and we'll be having our hands on the floor. We'll be shifting our weight back and forth and we're trying to get deeper into our stretch. All right. And at some point, inevitably, your butt will go back just a little bit. And if it goes back a little too far, you start falling backwards. You'll be swimming through the air. You'll be like, I'm falling. And if you have a wall behind you, your butt will rest against the wall. Everything will be fine. You can just do a little hip thrust, wee, and then all of a sudden you're back and you're ready to continue. If you don't have that wall, if you don't have something behind you, and you're just going off to the side here, and then you, oh no, I lose balance. Oh, oh, that fall will probably be your best case scenario. Your butt will hurt. You'll be very unhappy that your butt hurts, and you'll be happy that you didn't fall further back and hit your head on something. All right. So start with your back against the wall. Cool. Let's continue. Or not start with your back against the wall. Start with your back really close to the wall, 8 to 12 inches, so that if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Open up your legs. Nice and wide. Oh, breathe, chill, and let's begin. Open them up a little bit wider. If your hips are starting to hurt here, you're feeling a pinching sensation, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit. We're ready to focus on that belly button, and we're going to bring it down. If this looks just like the pancake, this is exactly how we set up for the pancake. The main difference now is we're going to put our hands down on the ground right away for stability, for support. If you cannot reach the floor, you can't get there comfortably, feel free to elevate your hands with a stool, coffee table, some textbooks, anything that is comfortable for you to put some weight into, that is a good place to start. My earbud keeps on slipping out of my ear. What is going on? From here, we're going to do the most important part of this entire stretch. We're going to externally rotate the legs. The purpose of this is to make sure our thigh bone and our hip bones don't smash into each other and make our bones hurt. We're trying to not have bone pain, and we're going to try to have only muscle pain. All right. So what I want you to do is notice that your knee is currently pointing forward, right? Your toes are pointing forward. What I want you to do is rotate the whole leg back. So, boom, your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. All right. We got to do the same on the other side. Also, you can keep your hands on the stool for support. I'm just demonstrating being all exaggerative, but for you guys. From here, knees are forward, toes are forward, rotate the whole leg. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, we're in a side split. You might not be very low to the ground. It might not be a deep side split, but it is a side split. And what I want you to do is pause for a second, undo all of that, get a little bit wider into your leg position, and then go back into it. All right. We're just demonstrating. Now that you know what you have to do, you can make it easy on yourself by getting deeper into the stretch before you rotate your legs. All right. Once your legs are rotated, we're going to start doing a little lean to the side, lean to the other side, lean to the side, lean to the other side. If you have decided this is too much, you can't keep going, you can feel free to stop. Don't feel pressure from me to keep on bringing yourself down if you feel like you're ready to wrap up for today. All right. From here, we're in a deeper side split. Congratulations. Breathe, relax. If a whole bunch of your muscles are super tense right now because this is a brand new position for you, you've never been here before, I want you to pick out each muscle that I'm going to highlight and relax them. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your glutes, relax your low back, relax your hamstrings. Breathe. Make that loud, obnoxious exhale. Let out all the extra tension and try to chill. Right now, if your butt is touching the wall or really close to touching the wall, then I recommend you take advantage of that and kind of sit back, lean into the wall a little bit. As long as the tops of your knees are pointing in the same direction as the top of your head, you are good. This is your side split. Breathe, chill, and we're going to hold this for 30 more seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Feel free to use the stool as much as you want. Elevate your hands to make your life easier. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. If it's feeling too intense, you can come up a little bit out of it. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. If you're feeling a pinching sensation in the hip and it's feeling a little uncomfortable, focus on rotating the leg back and pointing the knee back behind you and see if that helps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in underneath you. And that is our first side split attempt. Whew. If your hips are tired, if you're tired, that is completely 100% normal. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to get up back into standing. We're going to shake out our legs, shake out our bodies, relax all these muscles that are freaking out right now, and get back into side split number 2. Shake out some more, get into side split number 3, and then we're going to wrap up the show. All right. I don't think I told you this, but we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. And in between each round, we're shaking it out and getting loose so that we can prepare ourselves. And now you know because I've told you twice. All right. Let's go. Come on back into standing. Ugh. Oh, if you need to grunt, if you need to groan, if you need to make a whole bunch of unnecessary noises, please do. I highly encourage it. It makes everything feel better. Let's go. We're going to stand, put all of our weight into one leg, and we're going to flick the other leg a little bit. All right. We want to relax this ankle for now. So what I want you to focus on. As you get more comfortable letting the ankle flop around, just doing its thing, shaking, flopping, wiggling, I want you to know that right now, all of the other muscles above your ankle, the ones that let your feet flex, that point your toe, that rotate the leg and do circles and stuff, those muscles have to be relaxed in order for your leg to be flopping around like this, right? And that's what we want, relaxation of those muscles. You can stop, you can put that foot down, we can start over on the other side. Start nice and gentle, light wiggle, light shake, and then you can pick up the intensity as you go. You don't ever have to match my intensity. I've been doing this for a long time, so maybe this is a little crazy for you. All right. But focus on relaxing the ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And same thing, we're trying to relax all those muscles up to the knee. From here, hopefully, your legs are already moving a little bit better. Now, we're going to do a little bit for our hips. What I want you to do is, again, stand and put all of your weight into one leg. And I want you to put the big toe of the other foot down on the ground with the knee slightly bent. All right? What we're going to do is rotate the leg in and out and in and out and in and out, and develop some strength and control in this hip movement right here. A little bit of that strength and control will help get your muscles moving so that your hips are a little less tense from the side split, but mostly we're just building some strength and some control for this. When you're ready, when you get a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, you can straighten out your leg because you don't need to see that your legs are rotating anymore. You can just know that you're using the right muscles. From here, I want you to keep shaking out that leg. Shake, 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 shake. As you get faster at this, as you get more aggressive with this, your thigh muscles and all your other things will start flopping around on top of that bone, and you'll be able to really shake it out and relax that leg. Whew. You don't have to get there today. We kind of skipped a couple steps in between. You can pick up the pace nice and slow until you get into one where it's a little bit more aggressive and crazy. And it all starts with this, the toe down, the knee coming in, knee coming out, knee coming in, knee coming out. We've switched to the other side, by the way. And as you develop control, as you develop strength, you'll be able to shake out your leg a little bit more easily. All right. Again, there's almost no weight in this leg. All the weight is in the other leg, so that we can make the shaky shaky a little bit easier. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. If this is starting to feel like a dance show because we're doing so much cool stuff, then absolutely turn into a dance show. Do some stanky leg. Put that hip mobility to work. Let's get smooth with it and move well. All right. If you want, you can also combine both those knees in and outs together and turn into more dance moves. Hands together, hands out, left and right, do both sides. And now that your knees are tired, we're ready to get back into some side splits. Let's get into side split number 2. Hopefully, your legs are feeling a little bit looser, feeling a little bit better. We are going to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. And we're going to open up our legs into that wide stance. If you forgot how deep is too far, that's okay. You can get back into too far. Feel the pain in the hips. Bring your feet together. Come out of the pain of too far. And we're ready to begin. Fold that belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold, fold, fold. Fold some more. Oof. When you are here, put your hands down. If you can't reach, if you just don't want to reach because it's so far from the floor, feel free to use something to elevate your hands. Just make sure it's stable. Just make sure it's comfortable. From here, we're going to do the most important part of our life. We're going to rotate our legs so that our thigh bones don't smash into our hips, so that there's no bone pain, just muscle pain. From here, our knee is pointed forward and our toes are pointed forward. We're going to rotate the leg. Boom! Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Great. We got to do the other side. Ready. Boom! Heels down, toes up, knees up. All right. This is that side split position. And you can stop now. You can bring your legs back down. Get into a slightly deeper side split, the deepest you can go, and then rotate it. That will help you not have to slide your heels across the floor trying to get into a deeper side split. All right, because your heels are probably sensitive. They're probably crying. They're probably unhappy with you. So you don't have to spend as long in that position. All right, let's go. We are in our side split. We're deeper than before. We're going to lean to the left, push that leg out. Lean to the right, push that leg out. Lean to the left, push that leg out. Lean to the right, push that leg out. And we're going to keep leaning and pushing and leaning and pushing. And once you're done leaning and pushing, we're going to breathe and relax. Relax your toes, relax your feet, Relax your hamstrings, relax your glutes, relax your calves. Exhale. And try to get a little bit deeper into our stretch. This time, instead of sitting with our butt against the wall, I want you to walk your hands forward, maybe 2 steps, 2 hands worth, so that you're facing the floor at a slight angle. The top of your head is sort of shooting up into the corner of the room. Your knees, if they tracked, should also be pointing slightly up into the corner in front of you. And from here, we should be feeling the stretch right here in the inner thighs. All right, we need those, the adductors, to be stretched out for our side splits. So this time we're focusing on those. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If you need to take a pause at any time, take a break, that's absolutely okay. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Pull, 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 pull. And the further you walk, the easier it'll be to bring your legs in. What we just did was a version of that stretch where we focused mostly on the inner thighs. At least they should have felt more intensely, at least getting stretched than the previous version where we're sitting down against the wall. That version, you're going to feel it more in your hamstring, so underneath your leg instead of in the front of your leg. I hope you're ready to stand up because we got to shake. Let's go. Shake. Grunt, grunt, make as many noises as you need to, waddle around like a drunk penguin for a second, and when you're ready, let's go. All your weight is in one leg. Shake, 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 shake. Relax that ankle, get loose, chill, floppiness. You don't have to go 0 to 100 in 1 second, but you can go 0 to 100 in like 5 seconds, all right? Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. And other side, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. I said 100. You don't actually ever have to get to 100. Like 65% is fine. We're just trying to relax. You don't have to be throwing your leg out, going crazy, hoping your ankle will fly all over the place. That's a little much. So everything below our knee should be okay. Let's go up. Let's put all our weight in one leg again. Put the big toe of the other foot down and rotate the leg in and out and 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 in and out. Stank your leg, stank your leg, stank your leg, in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. As you get more comfortable, as you get stronger, as you get faster, you can straighten out that leg and keep on shaking. Shake, 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 shake. And then at some point, you'll start going so fast, so ridiculously, that your whole entire thigh muscle is just flopping all over the place. And now we have achieved a whole bunch of relaxation. On the other side, all your weight is in one leg, big toe of the other foot is down. There's almost no weight in this foot, right? It's completely relaxed. We're bringing the hips in and out and 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 in and out. And stank your leg, stank your leg, stank your leg, and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. And whew, what else are we doing? Oh, shaking out the leg. Straighten out that leg. Still no weight on it. Shake it in, out, faster, 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 until your whole entire thigh is going and turned into yellow. Okay? Whew. That, hopefully, is enough to get your legs relaxed. Because we're going to get on into side split number 3. Let's go. Stand. Wow, my tongue is tired. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Okay? And open up those legs. If you're just joining in, then open up until you're feeling a little bit of a pinch in your hips and you're like, ooh, that's not nice. When you've gotten there, you can stop. You can bring your legs back in just a little bit. If you have been here for a while, hopefully you know approximately to where you'll be able to get into without pain. And then we're ready to fold. Belly button down. Whee! Boom. From here, we're ready to put our hands down. If you can put your hands on the floor, great. If you need a little bit of support, awesome. Go get whatever it is that you need. And we're ready to externally rotate. This is the most important part of the whole entire show. We're rotating the bones so they don't smash into each other. And it looks like this. Right now, our knees are pointing forward, our toes are pointing forward. What we want is to rotate both legs back 90 degrees so that our feet, sorry, our knees are pointing up, our toes are pointing up, and our heels are down. Allow me to demonstrate. Boom! Knee up, toe up, heels down. All right. Other side. Knee forward, toes forward. Rotating. Boom. Knees are up, toes are up, heels are down. And we are in our side split position. Take a second, get as deep as you comfortably can for the moment, and breathe. I recommend that to spend less time on your heels and sliding around, you get back into that previous position where your feet were down, get really low first, and then rotate the whole entire leg. Because once you're folded forward, that pinching sensation will happen way late in the process. It's not like when we were standing up straight. So you got time. You got time before it turns into a bone smashing fest. And you can wait to do it at the end. But I need to demonstrate it higher up because we got a lot of new people on the show. All right. From here, we are ready to do a little wiggle. Left, little wiggle right, little wiggle left, little wiggle right, little wiggle left, little wiggle right, wiggle left, wiggle right. I'm talking fast. You don't have to move fast. And once you feel like you're about as deep as possible, you can't go any further on these wiggles. I want you to focus on relaxing. All right. Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings, relax the glutes. Sit back into that wall. Breathe. Sigh out all the tension. And that's it. Here we are. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost done. 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward and pull your legs in. Oh, man. Whew. Okay. That is our third and final side split. If your legs are tired, that is normal. And the good news is we're pretty much done. All right. Come on back up into standing. We're going to shake out our legs one last time. Because it's the last time. You don't have to be nearly as thorough about it because you're going to go do other stuff. You're not going to just jump into another side split. All right. Shake out that ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Over time, as you do more of these, you'll be able to get into that shaky, floppy, relaxed state faster and faster and faster because you'll have trained your brain to do what you want it to do because you do it every single day. All right. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And let's go into the hips. If you're brand new to this, all your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. There's almost no weight in this leg, and we're rotating in, out, in, out, in, out. You can place your foot however far or however close you want. It's not that big a deal as long as your leg is rotating in, rotating out, rotating in, rotating out. And as you get stronger, as you get faster, as you get more control of that position, you can start straightening out your leg. You can lean even more weight into the other leg, and you can start shaking fast. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 until your leg looks like it's made of jello and you're just swinging all of your thigh muscles back and forth. Other side. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Shake, 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 shake. Faster, 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 faster. And whew. Hopefully your hips are loose. Your legs are chilled, and we're ready to move on into our third. What am I talking about? We're not moving on to the third anything. We're moving on into our joint checks. What I want you to do is a nice and slow hip circle. We're just working our way through our hips because we put them through so much today. And I want you to feel what's tense, what's tight, what needs a little bit of love. All right. After the side splits, especially, I feel it in the left and the right side of the hip. So I'm just going to spend a couple seconds focusing on each side. Then those muscles get stretched out. Oof. Other side. Oh. Whew. If you got tension elsewhere, feel free to take a second, deal with that. If you just have a perpetually tight low back, you can flop over and just give your back a chance to relax a little bit. Whew. Okay. From here, we're going to move on into a couple of quick high knees, one on each leg. If your knees popped up, we're ready to move on. We're going to do some squats, all right? And by squats, I mean we're going to do one squat and we're going to do a whole bunch of calf raises. What I want you to do is keep your feet right underneath your hips. I want you to spread your toes nice and wide if you can, and I want you to come on down into that squat position. From the side, I want you to see that I am focused on bringing my chest down to the knees. All right. And I want to push my knees forward towards my toes. When you're in this position, your toes should be working real hard to keep you stable. Okay. Because your center of balance is pushed way forward, and your toes should be working to keep you from falling on your face. That is what we want. Your toes should be working. The arch of your foot should be working because your toes are working so hard, gripping the floor. Your Achilles tendon should be stretched. Your calves should be tense because your Achilles tendon is also tense. Your quads are probably crying and upset at you, and we're ready to do a little bit of movement. From here, you can put your hands down if you need balance support. If you don't have to put your hands down. We're going to do a couple of calf raises. I want you to bring your heels up off the ground. It might help to imagine you're trying to put all of your weight between your big toe and your index toe, and that should help you come up a little bit easier. Do as many of these as you like, go as slow and fast as you like, experiment, and when your quads and your calves are ready to call it, we can wrap up. What we just did was force our toes to work really well with the arch of our foot, with our foot joints, our foot muscles, with the Achilles tendon, the calves in a stretch position, putting a whole bunch of pressure into the stability muscles for our knees, quads, and we folded at the hips, folded at the knees, folded at the ankles, and so we were able to get a lot of those joints to work well with the muscles because we were, doing crazy stuff from that bent over crazy position. And if you're able to pull all that stuff off, then more likely than not, your joints are ready to go and you're ready to go crush whatever else you got to do for the day. Oh man, we're at 281 people live over on TikTok. This is crazy. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this show. We're wrapping up for today. We just wrapped up 80 minutes, basically, of live side split stretching and hip mobility. That last little bit was just making sure your joints are working in the quickest, most compact version of a recovery looking thing as possible. And the rest of the show, we spent suffering on the floor if you somehow just dropped in. If you like flexibility stuff, if you want better hip mobility, if you're working on your side splits and you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, we're live every day at 9 p.m. It is currently not 9 p.m., and that is because on the weekends we have another show at 9 a.m. That's what you're watching the tail end of right now. We are 80 minutes deep. So if you're not in the time zone where it would make any sense for it to be 9 a.m. when we start, it's 9 a.m. Eastern, and we started 80 minutes ago. So subtract 80 minutes from whatever your time is right now. That's our standard time on the weekends. And 12 hours from that time, the nighttime version of that time, that's our nighttime live. If you're on TikTok, it will be scheduled in the profile in a little bit after this show. So you can just go back to the profile and click the little button for going to the live, and it'll be there. Cool. I didn't really do the classic call to action which was we just wrapped up 80 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, the number one quality. If you have the best plan in the world, but you can't follow the best plan in the world, it's not the best plan for you. And that's why we practice a whole bunch of consistency. We try to build a little bit of community of other people who are just trying to stretch, trying to move a little bit better, preferably with good vibes, sending good energy, supporting each other. And we try to do the stretches together so that we can suffer a little bit less or make it a little bit more fun while we suffer. So if you like those things, if you like consistency, if you like hip mobility, flexibility, side split stuff, keep coming back because we're live every day. That is the spiel. And I am going to sit down and look at comments now because I have not been here for a while. If you got questions, you got comments, feel free to throw them in the chat. I will be here until they are all responding. So I got a lot of scrolling to do. All right, let's go. Scrolling, 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 scrolling. Ganowski says, Ken, also you're rocking the hairstyle. Don't cut it. Oh, thank you. You like the longer hair because I've been ignoring it for way too long. Nice. Thank you. You like the little spikes sticking straight out of the top of my head because I wake up and I jump into the live and I don't do anything else for my face. Celestial says, thanks for sharing this. You're very welcome. Ganowski sending emojis. Ganowski, welcome back. Ganowski is OG for the 300 of you still on. Ganowski, Che, I don't know if Gayet is on today. Super OGs. Like they've been on this live since at least November, maybe even earlier than that. It's been it's been like half a year. So thank you for being here and thank you for kicking butt over on the live. Serafina says, any recommendations for a creator for people over 50? I need easy exercise. Any recommendations for people over 50? I need easy. Okay. A lot of the exercises that we do can definitely be modified for people with less mobility and for people with less strength. All right. The big thing that I recommend if you're starting out is actually what we do for warm up. The stretches are fine, but they're not nearly as important. The warm up exercises that we do actually will contribute and help a little bit more for building strength. And that a lot of the time is what people need more than just pure flexibility. Um, so I do recommend our three warm-up exercises. The first one is the hip car. I see that your comment came in pretty late towards the end of the show, so I assume you weren't here for the beginning. The hip car looks a little bit like this. We start by lifting our knee as high as possible, opening up that hip to the outside as wide as possible, rotating this leg so the ankle comes up as far back as possible, really cranking on this muscle, and then bring the leg down and back so that we're doing this hip extension. All right. When you slowly work through that range of motion, you start building up strength and you build up mobility all at the same time. I do this version where we're standing because it is easy to stand and do it. Obviously, you have to stick your hand out for balance. If your older audience doesn't have as good of the balance isn't as good and they need a little bit more support, you can do this instead. You can come down to all fours, so hands and knees, and you can basically do the same thing. You're lifting the knee as high as you can, trying to compress it into your chest. You're lifting that leg to the side like you're a dog taking a piss on a fire hydrant. You're rotating that ankle up into the air, trying to put your feet flat into the sky, and then you're bringing the leg back and trying to lift, flexing the glutes, flexing the hamstrings, pushing that leg up into the air, trying to protect that low back. Ooh, and that is totally doable. Doesn't require nearly as much balance. If you guys prefer on the regular life, all my regulars, you can do that version as well. I do it very infrequently because I originally started the show liking to be able to look at the chat. And now I don't actually look at the chat very much in the beginning. I'm too far away. And so there's no reason why we do the standing version anymore. That makes sense. You can absolutely do the hands and feet on the ground version. Okay. Whew. Oh, wait, I was talking about exercise for older people. The second thing that we do for our warm up is called the elephant walk. And at some point, it can look a little bit like this, but the goal, sorry, lost the earbud. The goal is to slowly work that hamstring muscle with some light movement, right? The version that somebody with less mobility could do still looks something like this. You fold forward to a comfortable-ish position, you bend one knee, stick that hip out a little bit, straighten the other leg, and you focus on bending the knee on either side. That will put a little bit of movement into the hamstrings, help the muscles wake up, relax a little bit, and it's good. Movement is good. Next, the third and final warm-up exercise is actually going to be a little bit difficult for most people who are struggling with mobility and flexibility. It is called the Cossack switch. I actually don't recommend you go crazy deep on this one, and I would recommend that you start with something that looks more like this. Trying to get all of your weight into one side, doing a bit of a squat on that one side, have your hands down on the ground or on something, and scooting from side to side just a little bit, pretty high up. That should help with your hips. I try my best to highlight that you don't have to come down during our live. I talk about dropping the heel for stability, drop it as low as you can go. If your hips are stuck higher up, that's totally fine, and you can keep on bringing your hips from side to side. Um, as you get stronger, you can get lower to the ground, you can lean further, and you can open up those hips. But um, for the actual stretches, I don't know that you need to necessarily focus on the stretches themselves. A lot of the time, it's probably more important for you to build up strength and mobility at the same time. And I would recommend you focus on those mobility exercises and seeing how far you can take those. Cool? All right, let's continue. That's not a reason to not stretch. I was just telling you I would focus on movement because you probably care more about better movement than you do about being able to lift your legs super high, or sorry, being able to sit in a position with your legs really crossed out. Crossed out. What am I even saying? I imagine when you are over 50 and you're trying to get back into exercise is because you want to move better, not because you need to get into a side split. All right. A lot of the stretching that we're doing on this show is passive stretching. And that passive stretching gives you passive flexibility, but it doesn't necessarily build up your ability to move into those positions very well. That's why I'm recommending the warm-up exercises. The warm-up exercises are movements, right? We're using our own muscles to do things, to control our body, and that is going to be way more important for when you're just starting out and you want to see results, especially, right? Because when you're losing some mobility or losing some flexibility, it can be really discouraging when you're like doing all this stuff that doesn't make you any more mobile, doesn't make you feel any better. So definitely focus on movement based things because you want to move better. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool. Catchy says thank you, Ken. Somebody with no username says, thank man. You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna scroll up and see if there's any questions, comments that have come in while we're doing live. Gnowsty says, thanks, Ken. You're welcome. And somebody with a period as a username wrote, just realized the importance of martial arts forms to implement them in some way in my workouts. That is a good point, right? Martial arts are just really old styles of fitness, oftentimes. Working your body into crazy positions that you have to train for and making your body move really well. So same principles. Not that much has changed in the world of what your body can do since hundreds, thousands of years ago. And those martial arts movements are just that stuff. And now they take the form of all sorts of other stuff in all sorts of other sports. Anna says, I'm hooked. I joined later, but I'm going to keep coming back. This is awesome. Amazing. We do this live every day, 9 p.m. Keep on coming back. Uh, and on the weekends, it's also at 9 a.m. But the weekend is this is the last weekend 9 a.m. show, so it doesn't. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? Chopra says, this is great. I have noticed that it's hard for me to relax my legs. Thank you. A lot of the time, to help with relaxation, you can actually just come out of that stretch to be in a less deep position. In the side splits, for example, When you're in this crazy position, all of your muscles are going to start freaking out. And the deeper you are, the harder they will freak out. So, one of the things you can do to minimize that freak out and help you relax is just to sit in a higher version of that stretch than you can absolutely reach, right? You don't have to be 100% the whole entire time. You can be at 85, you can be at 90, and having a little tiny bit of extra wiggle room because you're at 90% gives you the opportunity to relax those muscles. If you're at 100% super fully stretched, or 95 or 9, close to your max, it's going to be really hard to relax because you're already at your max. You're completely stretched out. It's much easier to start relaxing when you give yourself the space to relax. So if your goal is to relax, you don't need to hit 100%. 90, 80, 65% is fine. Absolutely okay. All right. And relaxation is a skill. We try to practice it a little here and there when we're shaking out our legs, trying to get loose in the later half of the show, right? During the side splits. But you can also practice it on your own when you're just sitting in a position. When you are just chilling, relaxing, not doing anything, your muscles will also slowly come into a sense of relaxation. And that is what you want. So you should practice that. Cool. All right. Ugh. Bring the legs in. Scrolling back over to the chat. I'm gonna take a look at YouTube chat. What's going on over here? Um, Cindy says hi. Anu says hi. I will subscribe. Done. Amazing. Neko Panda, welcome back. It is what, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon for you. Welcome, welcome. And let's see what else we got over back on Tickety Taggety. Let's see. I'm scrolling as fast as I can to the top, looking for comments, things to respond to, and then I'm gonna scroll right back down. All right. I know there's new stuff that's come in since I've started talking, since I've started scrolling. I'm just gonna try and hit a couple more. Kilmar says, "Thanks, Ken. You're welcome, Kilmar." We got people thanking me still. I feel like this is the beginning of the live. Oh yeah, it is the beginning of live. Okay. Kilmar sent a thank yous way early, confusing me. I was like, what? How can we still be at thank yous when I've been scrolling for this long? Did all these come in at the end of the show? All right, let's see. I'm gonna scroll back down, but then I shot way far forward all the way to the bottom of the chat. So I'm gonna go back and look for the last thing that I remember seeing. Che sends an awesome emoji, and Ganasti compliment to the hair. Okay, awesome, great. April says, first time follower, thank you. Been looking for something to improve my flexibility. This is it. Absolutely. I got a very moderate, less intense philosophy towards fitness, and that is if you can't practice consistently, it's probably going to be really hard for you to make progress, right? And so this live is designed with the focus of trying to be consistent. It's not a crazy intense show. If it's your first time and you're just like learning the movements for the first time, you're going to be sore. Like all the normal first time doing stuff will still feel intense, but the workout is designed to be very recoverable so that you can do it very often. Maybe you won't be able to do it daily, and that's fine. That's okay. I do it daily because this is my show. You don't have to do it daily unless you really, really want to. What else do you need to know? I try to make this show very straightforward, easy to follow because we keep on doing the same movements. I do a lot of teaching as we go, and I emphasize slightly different things from day to day, from week to week, and I change up some of the ways that I try to talk about it to see if anybody complains or anybody likes the new stuff or dislikes the new stuff so that we can find maybe a quicker way to get through some of the content. Some of the times I've explained some stuff for way too long, and I was like, I don't think anybody actually needs this. I just like talking and hearing the sound of my own voice. So I'm going to cut it down and see what happens. Um, that is to say, the show changes a little bit, but for the most part, it stays basically the same. I've been doing the same 8, 9 exercises for a long time, since November of 2024. And a lot of the videos are recorded over on YouTube because I started going live on YouTube, I think maybe 8 months ago, 7 months ago. So all of those videos have proof of me doing the basically same exact exercises, and you can see how much progress I've made over time. So if you need a little bit of encouragement, you need a little bit of proof, this is where you can find it, over on YouTube. I'm pointing this way because I have a second phone right here. That is the YouTube phone, and this is the TikTok phone. And uh, the YouTube username is at splits on the side. So it's the same username as TikTok. It's the same username as on Instagram. What else? What else? What else? I'm glad you're here. Keep on practicing, and I hope you stay entertained because that makes everything a little bit easier. All right. I'm gonna scroll back down. What else we got? What else we got? Period says, I hear ya. That just fried my everything. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's the first time you're on the show. You're learning and feeling sort of these new movements, feeling them in a different way, sitting in them longer than you've ever sat in them before or attempted to sit in them before. That first time around is going to be tough. If you want, there's another live tonight at 9 p.m. That is 10 and a half hours from now. You can come and do some more. But if you're too tired for that, feel free to come back the next day. These morning lives are a weekend only thing because I have to work most of the mornings. But our regular standard live is at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can feel free to join us in for that. All right. Join us in for that. Join in with us for, I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Danny Phantom says, advice for tissue pain under inner ankle bone when distribute weight on 3 points of contact left foot. Oh, wow. Very specific question. Advice for tissue pain under your inner ankle bone with the weight distributed on the 3 points of your contact in the left foot. Hold on. Let me stand on it. Inner ankle bone. I wonder if that is you needing to focus a little bit on developing the arch of your foot. I wonder if that is your arch collapsing so that your ankle kind of goes whoop inwards, and that is why you're feeling the pressure, even though you have some weight on each of those 3 points in the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Um, Do you also feel discomfort in the knee? Because oftentimes when the arch collapses, the knee also drops inwards, and that causes discomfort. I think that is all the information I have for you because I am not knowledgeable enough to give you very specific information about what you can do to strengthen or mess around with that. So you're gonna have to Google some more over on YouTube. But if this inner ankle bone is feeling pressure, is feeling weird, I would imagine it's because your arch is collapsing and your knee is popping in a little bit and you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure from right here. I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, I hope that gives you enough information to start researching elsewhere because I don't got that information for you. And I'm sorry. All right, next up, Zona Anna says, "Do you come every day at 9 p.m. Eastern? I just found you, and I definitely need to work on my flexibility again." Yes, it is every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Sunday, and it is it is every day. And I will tell you several days in advance if it's going to be a day that I miss. I don't think I've missed a day in a long time. I'll do this live from my friends' houses. I've done this live at the airport. I've done this live at the train station. I've done this live in lots of crazy places, just looking for sketchy corners where nobody will go and start live streaming workouts. So for the most part, I try to be very consistent with our 9 p.m. show. Unless something has happened, I'll be here. And there's proof. There's a lot of proof. All the recordings that we've done that are on YouTube and TikTok are recorded and posted over on YouTube. And you can go watch all those back. I have no idea why you'd want to watch them back because the show is very similar every single day. But if you want to, flip over to like day one of whatever is recorded over on YouTube from 7 or 8 months ago. You can go check that out. All right. Ooh. User 36189 asks, can you show us what to do about sciatica? I cannot. I have zero expertise in sciatica. I do know that it is a lot of nerve tension issues in the low back, and that nerve tends to connect all the way down your butt cheek, down your leg, and it is very uncomfortable. But since I'm not an expert in sciatica, I'm gonna try not to make any recommendations that will point you the wrong way, because I don't want your pain to get worse. Okay? What else we got? But I have looked into sciatica so many times, and then I keep on forgetting everything that I learned. Anyways, Travel Doxy says, Anna, yes, he goes live daily at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Sunday. The 9 a.m. Eastern live is just on Saturdays and Sundays. Thank you for the summary in writing, because that is very helpful, because I fumble my words and I'm all over the place. AJ Skills says, Ken, you're a good trainer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We talked about my lack of ability with sciatica, and what else? What else? Period is back. They said that helped a lot with Achilles and toe injury and led to hip more. Wait, hold on. I'm confused. That helped a lot. 20 with Achilles. Oh, you're telling me about yourself. 20 with Achilles and toe injury, and that led to more hip injuries. That stand stretch. Injuries. Okay, I'm gonna just ignore the last three words because I don't know what that means. Really fries it. More hip injuries. Okay, you're young. You got the opportunity to recover. Um, Achilles and toe injuries. Have you been doing a lot of martial arts already? Is that why you have Achilles and toe injuries? Are you kicking people and hurting your toes? Because that's what it sounds like, uh, you got this. Our live is not going to necessarily do that much to help you with your toe rehab. It's not going to do that much for your Achilles tendon. We do some stretchy stuff, and we try to put a little bit of pressure and put a little bit of love into the Achilles tendon so that most people can work those a little bit better, take that into the calves. But um, we don't do that much. So that might be just enough for you where you're at with your injured Achilles to help you stimulate them, help you recover, because you might not be doing enough in your normal life to get them to move. But it might also be a little too intense depending on how fresh that injury is. Let me know. Danny Phantom says thank you and sends a bunch of rainbow colored hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. High top tennis shoes, good feet store might help, says Bonnie. Danny Phantom says, "Oh no, not in the knee, but awesome. I can work on the arch. It does collapse on itself. Oh, good, 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 good. Okay, not good in that your feet are collapsing on yourself, but good in that this is in the general right-ish direction of things that you can work on. It's also really good that it's not in the knee. If you have collapsed arches and you run a lot, there's a tendency that you'll feel it more in your knee, like on the inside, and that is normal when you have collapsed arches. But if you're not feeling crazy discomfort all the way up here yet, that's a great sign. And uh, I can only speak from personal experience because I don't know anything else. All right. I have sprained several of my ankles several times. It has been a really long time since I sprained them. I think it was when I was like 15, 16-ish, so like 15 years ago. I sprained both ankles like twice or three times on one of them in 2 or 3 years, and I haven't sprained an ankle since. I think that coincided with the time that I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop being aggressive and flippy and jumpy and climbing things and parkoury stuff, and I'm gonna focus more on stretching for the first time because I started doing dance around the same time, and I think I built up a whole bunch of ankle strength from doing stuff like hanging out here, where the ankles are sort of going down and flexed or stretched out from the side, and just chilling in this position. I never got really that far in that stretch, but I got probably like to around here. And I think that stretching and hanging out in that position over time helped strengthen the ankles, so I stopped rolling them and I stopped spraining them. I haven't had anything serious since. I've had multiple times where like hiking, you like step on something weird, and then for a second your ankle goes out, and you're like, oh, and then you rotate it, and you're like, oh, okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, and you walk a couple steps, and it goes away. I've had a bunch of those in normal life, but I think it's significantly better than that couple of years where I kept on rolling my ankles. Um, so I think if you have some ankle pain from here, you could start working on strengthening the ankles. And there are gentle ways of doing that, like ankle rotations, just to bring your ankles through that full range of motion. If you can't do it with your muscles by themselves, you might be able to work that range of motion with your hands. If you get comfortable and you sort of know what you're doing, you can start doing it with your feet on the ground, and that will at least get you a little bit more mobility, a little bit more awareness of what your ankles should be able to do. And then from there, you can decide if you're going to invest time into getting stronger. The collapsed arch thing is one of those things that's a little bit difficult to train and get stronger because you hang out in that position. That's your normal, natural position at this point. And so you're trying to change basically half your posture at the same time. And that is definitely, certainly not easy. There are lots of different exercises you can do for your feet, just like your fingers can do all sorts of stuff, like wiggle up and down, flex upwards, make a fist. Your feet can do those things too. And you might want to start doing that type of exercise to see if it helps slightly strengthen and alter the way your foot moves and the way your foot works. Your feet, as untrained as they might be, right? They are still doing a ton of work. You walk in them every single day. They're supporting your whole entire body weight. So it's not going to be super easy for your feet to change how they respond to stimulus, change how they behave. And it will take a bit of work to slowly work on it. Some of those things could be easy, some of those could be hard. I have a bad tendency when it's cold out to not want to put on slippers. And so when my feet are cold, I tend to walk around like this with the sides of my foot down on the ground. And it's because that means the least amount of my foot is on the ground and the floor feels less cold. So I just, in the winter, I'm like, it's so cold. I can't imagine that's good for my normal walking situation. And I know that when I do that, it puts a whole bunch of pressure on the inside of my knees. So I have to be a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit more careful about that because I can literally feel it right now when I'm doing this and I'm walking around and I'm just moving. There's a little bit of pressure right here in the top corner of my kneecap. And I can do it, but I probably don't need to be putting that much weight and jumping around and going as much. uh, did that information help at all? I don't know. I was kind of just telling personal stories basically, and I hope something something was useful. There's lots of camps there's two main camps on foot health here. One of them is like the barefoot world, where they're like strengthen your muscles will take care of themselves. And then there's the orthopedic use tools world. There's definitely somewhere in the middle, and you should probably be somewhere in the middle because normal people probably would benefit the most from being somewhere in the middle and not be too stuck on one philosophy or the other. You should probably experiment and see what helps, because if there are options out there that help, there's no reason to not try them out, right? Um, in the podiatrist world, on the really, 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 really serious podiatrist world, they got a lot of orthopedics, they got insoles, they got lots of stuff to keep your feet in a certain position. I will tell you my personal bias is towards I would prefer if my feet muscles were a little bit stronger so that it can hang out and do its own thing by itself, because of this one principle, and that is if you broke your arm and you stuck your arm in a cast and it wasn't moving for 6 weeks while the bones heal or whatever, you're going to lose a lot of muscle in the arm, right? And then you got to do a little rehab. And the same with any other time you get injured. When you get injured, you're in a cast, you're in like a brace, you can't move your ankles, you can't move your knees, whatever it is. There's rehab, or there should be rehab involved, so that you can regain your range of motion, right? I feel like, and I don't know if this is the case because I've never used orthotics, right? So I don't know. I feel like it is likely that if you are in a situation where your feet muscles are being supported the whole time and they're not moving, and they're just being held in a nice, perfect position, your foot muscles are going to get weak and they're not going to be very good at holding yourself up. So I tend to bias over towards the more barefoot side of the foot health thing. Um, yeah, now you know. You don't have to follow my bias. You can do whatever you want. I am just telling you that I will bias towards that direction. So if you want to be very neutral, go find something in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. Scroll, 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 scroll. And yes, Bonnie threw in some tips. High top tennis shoes and good feet store might help. Those are definitely places to go check out. Right? At fancy running shoe stores, they have like machines that will show you when you run over a pressure pad how your feet strike the ground, where your pressure on your feet is when you stand, and that could give you a much better idea of where you bias your stance, where your posture is, whether your arch is collapsing, whether it's not really collapsing and you just think it's collapsing, and that could give you a lot more information to help figure out what you want to do next. In a running shoe store, you will probably get recommended a pair of shoes that gives you more support, right? Because that is how running shoe stores make money. They tell you which shoe to buy and they give you some tests. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that's the process. All right. Yeah. Zona says, "All right, thanks. Looking forward to it. Thanking Roxy for the help." And I think that is. Oh, what? The chat froze for a second as I was scrolling. All of a sudden, it just jumped down, and it jumped so far down that I'm looking at all these messages I've never seen before. What? That's crazy. Um, Soccer and karate. This is why your toes are broken. All right, that makes sense. Are people attacking you in soccer? Is that why your Achilles ankle or your Achilles tendon is also messed up? Violent soccer people. I'm just kidding. That's just what I imagine soccer people are like, and that's not even true because I know lots of people who play soccer that don't flop over. It's just what professional soccer looks like. Anyways, fitness trainer Ken Nice. Oh, thank you, AJ. That's good. Um, Mess me up because my younger self ego push it way past the point. That's okay. That's the beauty of youth. You get fired up and you do crazy things, and then you regret it for the next 85 years. That's normal. Everybody everybody's done that. My knees hurt because I used to parkour and I never really knew how to parkour that well. So foolish, foolish, foolish choice of activities. Um, that's not to say that parkour is bad. I just didn't train very smartly because I was pushing past the point, and I didn't train very methodically. Like I said, euphoria moments. Ah, thanks, man. Of course, that's awesome. Uh, ooh, Xavier sending spam. Awesome, and we are going. Ooh, period is what? Okay, experiment with barefoot right now. Just bought some. Oh, okay. In general, if you've never worn barefoot shoes and you are actually you're very young and you play soccer and you do karate. Karate is for the most part a barefoot sport. So you'll probably be fine. Spending a lot of time in shoes with less support, with less cushion, is going to put a lot of pressure on your heels. So if you were doing that side split stretch and you were feeling a lot of pressure on your heels while we were doing them, might be a good idea to take it easy when you're wearing the barefoot shoes to ease into it. I have read a lot of places online where people who transition from a lifelong like super thick soled running shoes into barefoot shoes get injured. So, same lesson that you were just talking about that you just learned. Don't push past the point. Experiment. Take it nice and slow. Don't go immediately on like a 10-mile run. Take it take it easy. Do a couple blocks. See how it feels, and then build up from there. Um, Cool. All right, that's it. That's the live, everybody. Oh, there's still 137 people on listening to me ramble about barefoot shoes. It's 10:54. We're almost 2 hours deep into the live. I gotta go enjoy my social life this Sunday, so actually I'm going to Costco. I gotta go buy groceries. But I hope y'all had fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you're feeling good, chilled out, relaxed, moving well, and I hope you're happy because you crushed a nice workout this morning. Ganasti says goodbye, 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 goodbye. Alice says thank you. You're very welcome. I will be back in, oh man, at this point, like 10 hours? Yeah, in like 10 hours for our regular standard 9 p.m. live. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. It's totally okay. There's no pressure. I mean, I can't force you anyway. This is a live. You have to press the buttons, right? But if you're feeling sore, if you're feeling stiff, you're feeling really achy right now, you don't have to come back in. You can take a day off. All right. This show is about consistency, but this consistency doesn't have to be every day. It's about showing up, making time for yourself, and trying your best to become more side splitty, right? If you are injured, that's not going to make you become side splitty any faster. I don't know why I say become side splitty. It's not going to help you get your side splits any faster if you're injured, right? So if you need to take some time off, if you're feeling really bad, please take some time off. Alternatively, if you really, 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 really want to be here when you're feeling not so great, you can perform at like 40% of your maximum normal intensity. You can perform at 50% of your maximum intensity. Consistency isn't about performing at 100% every single day, right? That's just you being a robot. We are not robots. We are organic organisms with injuries and all sorts of other things that require a lot more time to repair than a spare part. All right. So take care of yourselves and enjoy your weekend. Go for a nice walk. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. And if not that, I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. All right. I'm out of here. Bye. Ooh, more comments are coming in. Never mind. I'm not done. Chunky says, appreciate you always showing up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Sunday. And thank you, period, for the compliments. Hope more comes easily for you. Ah, that's so nice. Patricia says, thank you. Very informative. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm closing out. Closing out. Goodbye.